For nearly a decade, the primary blueprint for returning to the Moon centered on the Lunar Gateway, a multi-billion-dollar way station designed for lunar orbit. But the ignition announcement represents an abrupt pivot. NASA is officially pausing the Gateway project to focus resources on the surface, leaving its ground prototypes and hardware behind. The near-rectilinear halo orbit required for the station imposed strict fuel constraints on lunar landers, creating a persistent gravitational bottleneck between Earth and the lunar surface. In the context of a modern space race, maintaining an orbital transfer point drains time and resources that are better spent on direct-to-surface operations. This timeline compares the multi-step Gateway path against the 2028 landing deadline mandated by the National Space Policy. To remain competitive, NASA is accelerating its schedule by several years. Meeting this window requires skipping the orbital phase entirely and delivering crew and cargo directly into the lunar regolith. This era of exploration is defined by the physical occupation of territory and the construction of permanent assets. NASA is now redirecting $20 billion to fund this surface-first strategy. The agency is scavenging the Gateway's existing budget and engineering to build a sustained base on the Moon. The base will set at the lunar South Pole, near the 80° S latitude line. Here, Phase 1 sends a surge of robotic landers and moonfall drones to map the permanently shadowed craters and identify stable habitat sites with water ice. Subsequent phases will deploy heavy infrastructure, including JAXA's pressurized rovers. These large vehicles act as mobile habitats, supporting a crew of 2 for up to 30 days without needing a permanent structure. This phase deployment transitions the lunar surface into a functioning construction site designed for continuous human activity. But the South Pole presents a mechanical crisis. During the 14-day lunar night, temperatures drop to -200°C, far too cold and dark for solar power to function. The solution is fission surface power. This diagram shows how nuclear energy provides a flat, continuous output of 40 kilowatts, unaffected by the blackout period that would disable a solar grid. These modular reactors provide the thermal energy required to keep life support systems warm and operational through the deep freeze of the lunar night. This builds on historical hardware like the SNAP-10 reactor, which utilized internal fuel elements and beryllium reflectors to prove the viability of space-grade fission. Power management components originally developed for the orbital gateway are now being repurposed to distribute energy across this surface-based nuclear grid. Mastering nuclear power on the Moon provides the engineering foundation for missions to the outer planets and beyond. The surface base is the proving ground for a larger objective. The Ignition Initiative is designed to reach Mars. In 2028, NASA plans to launch Space Reactor 1 Freedom, the first nuclear-powered interplanetary spacecraft. It utilizes nuclear electric propulsion, or NEP, using an onboard fission reactor to generate electricity for high-efficiency ion thrusters. Tracing the energy flow from reactor to thruster exhaust reveals how NEP provides the continuous acceleration needed to transport massive cargo loads through deep space. This technology enables heavy lift missions beyond Jupiter, where solar energy is insufficient for propulsion. SR-1 Freedom carries the Skyfall payload to Mars, a swarm of 3 Ingenuity-class helicopters designed for aerial scouting. These drones will detach and plunge into the thin Martian atmosphere, deploying their rotors mid-flight to map subsurface ice and future human landing zones. This multi-drone assault provides a much wider scouting range than the single rover missions of previous decades. By scavenging the components of an orbital station, NASA has integrated a nuclear-powered moon base with high-speed drone exploration on Mars. The integration of nuclear power and surface-based operations provides the continuous infrastructure necessary for a long-term presence beyond Earth.
Thank you for watching.